Hello everybody, my name is Wayne Dre, and I am from the Screw It We're Doing It Live crew, and I decided I'm going to play this game, Stardrive. It's fairly new game, came out, it's a 4X strategy game. It's kind of different than most other 4X, well, I say different in how it does time. It's still based on turns, so like in games like Civilization, like the Civilization games, that's the only thing that comes to my mind right now, or Endless Space even. Like those games have a turn-based system where you end your turn and whatever. This one is more of a real-time turn-based is how I would describe it. Where it's like every 5 seconds a turn goes, but I'll explain that more when we get into it. But I'm going to play a new game. I'm going to do human race here. We're going to... well, let's keep the United Federation as the name. What color do I want? I kind of want that color, just because it looks nice. And then I have played this game before, so I do have kind of a setup going for how I'm going to kind of play this game. Now the thing with this game is you can go with the default. You can kind of customize your race. So you have the Dreylocks, the Corsican humans, and I just screwed that up. I should not have done that. But you basically get to customize, so you can take things like your planet is less fertile, so that would give you a negative to your points, because you have 8 points to spend on traits for your race. For a while I was playing with the settings the way it is, but I am actually going to take away the prototype, flagship, and meticulous, and take skilled engineers, because it gives my ships a little more oomph, and it also doesn't give me a high-end ship right away, so it kind of makes it a little more difficult early on. I'm also going to change the pacing. Basically, this is just like how long the game lasts, whatever. We're going to have a crowded solar system and an epic galaxy. I'm going to keep opponents to 7, because that way you can see all the different races, and there's a lot of them. Raleigh, Volfar. These are kind of like the Cthulhu people, the Raleigh. They're kind of awesome. These guys, the polyps, are kind of cute, but they don't do much, really, from what I've seen. And then these guys have a lot of stuff to do with them. They have little owls, but we'll see that when we get to it in the game. So all these are set, and let's get into a game. I've been playing this for a little bit. I haven't actually, to have the God's honest truth, I haven't actually finished the game. But this is kind of like Sins of Solar Empire, where there's no campaign. It's basically just a whole bunch of different scenarios that you can play. Well, not scenarios, but multiplayer randomly generated world maps. So I'm going to pause it right away, because as I said, the turns kind of work weird. So it's like every 5 seconds is a turn, and it goes by like 0.1. So here you can see the start date is 1000.1. And if we can zoom out, so here's Earth. I'm actually going to go into that so you can see there's actually a land-based map, and here's our capital city. I don't know if we can rename those. It would be fantastic if we could. No, we can't. Here's a spaceport, so I can build all my ships. When we get troops, we can do troops. We can actually set a planet to be bombarded by bomber ships. Let's go into the Empire panel. So from here, basically, you can see what planets we have. You can set how you want a planet to be run. So there's like kind of a good AI, semi-decent AI in this, in that you can set it to what I do is core, and it's basically a balanced planet. You can do industrial planets, agricultural planets, research, military. You can do a lot of different stuff with it. And then if we click, I remember how to click. Yep, there it goes. So we can set up ships and troops to build and stuff. I'm actually going to get these guys in there because I am going to need them. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our research. So here's the research screen. Basically, it follows the same kind of research idea that other 4X games do. Like, you have to research the earlier ones before you can get higher up ones. So there's energy weapons, there's shielding, well, not weapons, but shielding, and so economics, fleet supply. So you can, because a lot of weapons use this thing called ordnance. I forgot what it was called for a minute. I'm not going to research that yet. I usually go for missiles first. I do a lot of ordnance stuff. I do base... You're going to see later on in the series, like, I do base a lot of my names and ideas off of games and shows. Like, my fighters eventually start being called F-302s from Stargate. If there's copyright infringements on there, I'm sorry, but I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. Sometimes a spaz, but you know. So yeah, you can do the research and all this different stuff. I like to get a bunch of stuff just in case I forget, but this stuff takes a lot of time. So yeah, it basically, your planets get managed, and it will set like things to make food, production, that kind of stuff. Another real cool thing about this is there's my one first fighter. It always names at least one fighting ship. If you don't have what you call it, the prototype flagship. So another cool thing about this is the modular design that you can do ships with. So you can actually load. Basically, you can load what ships you can build with what you've unlocked so far. So here's the unarmed scout, the base unarmed scout. I'm gonna actually change it because I do this all the time. And you can actually change like the engines. We're gonna put 2 warp engines to make it go a little faster. These are gonna be our scout ships. I'm actually taking this design from a person that I saw on YouTube. It's actually a really neat design. I wouldn't say it's what I'm putting on it is necessary, which is just a gun turret, but there's a little normality to it, I believe. So then we're gonna save it as a. Ooh, if I can click on that, and then you can save it. And these are like, as you can see down here, you can see all the different designs that we've made, or well, not we, that I've made, but these are the pre-made ones. I actually have completely started a new game. Need to redo my ships, actually, because apparently I deleted those too by accident. So we're gonna name this Light Scout. Oh no, Jump. The typing in this is a little weird. Light Jump Scout. So I'm gonna say that. We're also going to change our colony ship to make it go a little bit faster. So we're gonna take these out and put 4 warp engines, make that go a little bit faster. And then we're going to say save as also, if my naming scheme and spelling is a little bit harsh for you guys, sorry. When I play this game, I don't really pay attention to spelling all that much. So here's the transport ships, which is basically going to take supplies and colonists to our planets. So we're going to do that. We're going to do command cockpit, because some of these larger ships need cockpits. It also won't let you save. Like on here, you can see production cost, power capacity, basically how much power this thing's going to have. The recharge rate, you can do different, like you can have different, you can have fuel cells to store energy, power plants to create the energy, obviously, and then you can have power conduits to basically run through your ship, so you don't have to put like a power generator next to everything. And then we're going to put a storage hold there. This increases the cargo space a little bit, I've noticed, because you take this in, these ships don't usually need a lot of energy. So I'm going to save this as my small jump. Whoops. Like I said, it's a little bit buggy. I know during the beta that this game was out, this game was in beta for a while on Steam, and then it got released. Actually, this entire game, from what I've heard, was created by a single person, and he did really, really well at it. I know in the beta version, the pre-release version, it was buggy, and when you got later into the game, it wasn't optimized correctly, so it would lag, it would crash, a bunch of different stuff like that. Actually, I'm gonna reload. We'll get to that when we get to another thing. So I can back out of this. Close that way. And then I'm gonna set these guys to be refit, and then here's all my ships. You can actually go in here and go refit to the light jump scout, refit, and to the jump colonizer. I did do the jump scout right here. Okay. So then we're going to go back to Earth, and we're going to build a couple more ships, because we want to be able to explore the galaxy around us faster. And then we're going to add 3 jump colonizers just to have some colony ships up, and then we're going to unpause. Oh! And then, so this is solar system: Earth, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. I don't know if Neptune's in here. I haven't seen Neptune. So I think, yeah, it stops at Uranus. For some reason, the solar system stops at Uranus and doesn't include Pluto. But what I found out, so this is the entire galaxy, but what I did find out was that Pluto is actually its own system. I actually played this one time, and Pluto was actually, so I'm here on the map. Pluto was way over here, and in my head that was kind of going, what? But, okay, so we're going to unpause it, let our scout and our colony ship go back to resupply. And what's cool about this actually is if you can actually store production and food. So what you can do is you can actually speed up the building of ships by just clicking this. It's basically rush production, so it takes it out of storage and immediately dumps it into the ship being built. Now, that one was built, I'm just going to set these to auto-explore. Now, you saw me build the Marines. Now, Marines are not just for planetary defense. They actually they can capture what are called anomalies. So you see Venus as an anomaly. So we can go, and we can actually see the planet. So, ooh. So you get these random little anomalies. So this one's actually a crashed ship. So we can either get early weapons from those, or we can get actual ships. You can get actual alien ships or just money. And then there's a notice bar that will actually pop up here. Like, so you're seeing my ships search the galaxy. These are actually what are called the remnant forces. They're basically aliens. And there goes one of my scouts. Ooh, no, there's one of my scouts. They're found on different planets, and they're signified by this little red, hey, you're in combat, or hey, there's enemies here. And they defend certain planets, and so some of those planets are like really good to find early on and get stuff. Actually, from what I saw, you can't see it now. They actually had a cruiser there, so. Okay, so see, this is saying that we have anomalies, so if we go to this system, Hamat, it'll actually show you what planet it's on. So we can go here, we can click here, and it's got a mysterious tomb. So we can find stuff from there. We can get money, we can get artifacts, which help and boost our economy, research, whatever. So I'm going to take my Marine, and I'm going to take it over here to this planet. The zoom in thing's kind of weird. Like, you can hold control to zoom out all the way, but it's buggy still. And then we can actually see the planets we've discovered so far. So we can actually hit max population. I like to do max population because it kind of shows us where, because usually the higher population planets have better resources. So we see that there's 2 planets higher in population than Earth. And actually, from looking at these, Arields is gonna be Yagari 4 seems to be a good one to get, because these are how per colonist you get this much production, richness is production. So there's a high production planet here, but its population is really bad, and so it's got a richness of 4.2, but its population, so you multiply that by 0.3 and whatever the math is, I don't really care right now. But so then there's that, and then population. So you can get a really good production planet, but its population won't be good. So it's kind of that you take some, you win, you take some, you lose some kind of thing. But there's stuff we can do to fix that. So actually, if we go back here, I want to grab a planet that doesn't have enemies on it. So Hamat 3, where we... Actually, what were we going to do? Yagari 4. So where is Yagari? So that's right there. That's actually... I don't like to colonize a lot of the unfriendly planets first. So I'll probably take Hamat first, because that's got a nice population. So even though it's only got 1.3 and 1.4 for fertility and richness, it's got a really high population. So it'll actually do a lot more production. So it'll do like Earth. So you can actually have a max of like 28 production, I believe, on this planet, if it wasn't balanced between all the other stuff. So we're gonna grab, what was it, Hamat 3? See, I talk a lot and I don't pay attention. So yeah, Hamat 3, because it's an easy planet to take, and it's something we can just grab and it will be okay. Okay, so I'm going to get these 2 into the air, just to have them up. And then let's finish this jump colonizer, which is the one we refit. And then we can actually take him directly over to Hamat and colonize that planet. So Hamat... Shit, I already forgot. Hamat 3. So we put him in orbit around Hamat 3. And now, so this is how you would capture artifacts. So you'd go here, and then drop it right on. So you first enter a mysterious tomb, find evidence of a long civilization deep within the tomb's hallways. Mysterious artifact encased in some sort of energy shield. Disable the shield and take the artifact. Upon returning to the planet's surface, they find themselves surrounded by the skeletons of the long dead, seemingly animated by the same energy field that had encased the artifact. So we get this artifact, but occasionally when you get stuff like this, you also have enemies that show up out of nowhere. So what happens is, I'll just let you see. So a lot of times your person will land and then get completely destroyed. I try to not have that happen. So instead of letting him just die like that, I would normally pause the game, and you can actually, it's kind of a bug glitch. I don't know if it's completely unfair, but the thing is, the people on the planet actually stay there for a long time, so I can go back and kill them anyways. But yeah. So that's kind of how that does. Actually, I'm gonna go to Venus, because I know Venus has an artifact. But yeah, if we go back to diplomacy, we can see that we have the Nano Collective Controller, which provides a 10% Empire-wide production bonus. So you can see over here what our modifiers are for all of our stuff. So ship modifier, the research modifier, production modifier. So all these will change as we get more of these and different buildings and such. Like if we actually go back to research, when we build aeroponics, it'll actually give +1 flat bonus to food. So a lot of these planets that can't grow a lot of food or have good production of food. So this is the one where we had ships. So let's see if we actually get a... Nope. Unfortunately, we didn't get a ship. We got money instead. So this is what I'm talking about. Before he even lands, you can launch him back in the air, and he doesn't die. It's all fun and... Yay. So we've got another one. Oh, so I usually keep those up there just to... So click that, it'll colonize it. I usually just keep those up there to see where I have anomalies or updates. Ooh, actually something I forgot. You can actually train what are called agents, and these actually defend from your empire from other races trying to steal stuff from you. So this guy should be colonizing, I hope. And like in a lot of games, when you colonize a planet, it destroys the colonization ship. Yep, see, so we got Hamat 3. So if we go back to Empire, we now have Hamat 3. So if we move that to Core, it'll reorganize its things here to get what it needs. So what it's gonna primarily put in front is to get its production up, because production, at least when Industrial Foundations finishes, it's gonna build a rover bay, and then it'll have better production, so it can get buildings up faster. But what we want to do is we want to go back here, and these are... I'm going to speed this one up a bit. So we want to build our jump transports. I'm going to build 4 of those. Now, I like to take my colonizers and put them in orbit around Mars, just so they're out of the way. No, don't colonize Mars. Just go over here. Usually I can just get them to... Oh, that's when I have multiple selected. Okay, that's... Never mind. So that one's going to sit over there. So we haven't run into any of the races yet. Oh, something I forgot to do. I always set my tax rate at 45%. Now, the thing with this is... taxes don't affect the happiness of your people. The only thing that will actually cause like revolts, like in Sins of a Solar Empire, I reference all the 4X games I actually like and play. Like in Sins of a Solar Empire, if your people didn't have enough, I think it was something. I don't remember what exactly it was, but it was basically culture. And if they didn't have enough culture, they would revolt. If they didn't have enough food, they would revolt. That kind of stuff. Your people won't do that unless they're either starving or you're in negative money. So as long as this is the positive... Okay, so these guys were done. And... How did you die? So I lost one of my agents. So you're going to stay there, because I don't like spending a lot of money. Now, money doesn't really do anything in this game. It's mostly production and research. So, yeah. But yeah, so right now we're exploring. I don't really like to speed up the game, because stuff like that. So I like to go in and see what a planet has. So these guys have... So this is a cruiser, an enemy cruiser, and there's all the frigates and stuff and whatnot. So these are the enemy ships. So this has another ship, so we have another chance to get a ship. Now the problem with that is it's really kind of a pain in the ass to get through those kinds of things just because of the enemy ships. So I'm going to take this Space Marine and I'm going to go down to Siri. Oh, where was it? Actually, no, it was Otor. So I'm going to put him on the outskirts of the system, just because a lot of times I forget and I put him next to the planet and then the enemy decides to kill it and I'm like, wait, where'd that Space Marine that I had to go? Oh! Okay, so we found our first race. The Vulcan Imperium. These guys are usually... Oh boy. So, Guru, why do you have to use this? So these guys are kind of the pack animal kill everything kind of race. I've seen a lot of people play this, and I played this a little bit. I've never gotten friended by these guys. These guys have always wanted to. I've never gotten killed by these guys, and I've never managed to kill them, but. And then just kind of like, yeah, but you can like negotiate with them. You can do like a pleading, threatening, and then depending on what you say and what you do to the race, their trust in you will go up. Their anger, they'll become angry at you, or they'll fear you. A lot of times, trade with my empire happens because I send out all these scouting parties early in the game. I have a chance of getting a lot of the. Oh wow, they're actually really close to my homeworld. Oh boy. But because I get all those ships, I try to get all the ships and the artifacts, and my empire becomes kind of powerful, and it's scary. So actually, in the diplomacy, you can actually see with the races you have met, you can actually find out who's top in economic, scientific, military, blah 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 blah. So I'm number 1 in economic, and they're top in scientific, military. What was the other one? Population? Apparently they're beating me in population, and they have sensor range power. Okay, that's not too bad. But yeah, you can do stuff like you can click these guys, and you can steal tech from them, rob them. I remember there used to be. There used to be where you could steal artifacts from them, but apparently they took that out. Because remember, there used to actually be an option to steal artifact. And I actually used to use that a lot because some people would have artifacts that I would want. So, Hamat has been colonized. The jump transports are being built. I'm going to speed that one up because I need to get colonists to jump colonizer. Where is jump colonizer? There it is. So I want to get people over there because you can actually ferry colonists from your higher population planets or your full population planets to other planets to get them up to speed. So but their population will grow on their own, but if you ferry in more people, their population will go up quicker. So we have another anomaly. Now there's a bunch of different anomalies that'll pop up on the side. Now I don't know how long these episodes are going to go. The first one's going to go until I get to a point where I've explained all the basic stuff. So, ooh, wow, lots of, yay. So this might be half hour, 45 minutes, I don't know. But, I'll try to put a goal during because for these kinds of games, there's not really a goal. But so if I go in here, now there's different kind of anomalies. This one's another ship, so I'll send, now I have another Space Marine, which is why I built 3 of them, is because I can do this kind of stuff. So there's the Perseverance, which is a fighter, so it doesn't make sense that it's got an actual name. I should just hit control, and okay, that's all the way. So if we go to Nidrox, now the thing is, a lot of times I'll send, ooh, they actually have ships over there, so I'm going to send you here. Now a lot of times there will be races closer to these planets, and then you'll show up and all of a sudden, oh hey, why are they gone? And you pray that they didn't actually get the ship. So this is another one, this is an abandoned mine. I don't take these. Now if you take the abandoned mine, you get a bonus to production, but they also have the tendency of spawning antlions. Yes, they actually have antlions in this game. They have a tendency of spawning antlions, and they tend to kill your people. Ooh, something I forgot. Oh, didn't want to build it because I'm building more important stuff right now. So more colonists. Now I have a bonus in that, so I'm going to go click, click, and fill that up. Now I have another freighter done. Yeah, this is a lot of just micromanaging the first couple minutes, so getting out of the way. So, what was the one with... So it was Amunix. So take that out. Did I send the marine over? And then I'm gonna send food and production over. Oh. So it won't do that. Okay, there. So I'm going to send this one to pick food and production up, so it'll take food and whatever this planet needs. There. What else do we have? We don't really have a fleet, but once we get this other planet set up, our research should speed up. So we can actually go to Empire, we can view... So Hamat's already building a spaceport. We've colonized it before industrial research finishes, so... Actually, the fact that the spaceport's actually going up that fast is impressive. What's their population so far? Yeah. Oh, okay, the spaceport only has 3 done in it. I thought it was done more. But yeah, so like I said, if you actually go back to Empire, you can actually see what the production is right now, and it's 0. But this will fluctuate depending on what it needs. So the population's low on Hamat right now, so they don't need a lot of food. I think it's 1 food per colonist. So per population, which is I'm hoping it's in billions? No, maybe it's millions. I don't know. But I think it's in millions. Whatever, I think it's 1 food per million they need. So if you, I don't know, I haven't really done the math on it, but I know once you get above a +1 food production, your colony is self-sufficient and it doesn't have to import. So you can import and export food and production between your planets, which is really great for when you have starting planets. Now, there's something I don't really do until I get at least 3 or 4 planets up, and they're called these projectors. They basically create star lanes between your planets. Okay, so this guy's over here. And they basically make your ships go faster inside your empire, which is great because it means colony ships won't take 3 hours, or larger ships won't take 3 hours to get between systems and such. But I kind of don't put them up until I have... Ooh, so that guy's getting fired at, so what we'll do is pause. I know it does seem a little cheaty, but... So, this is another thing you can do with ships, is you can actually get weapons from that. So, this is a Nature Impulsor. I don't use these. They're kind of shitty. They don't do much either. So, having spared that guy's life, so I'm going to launch him back into space. Keep it paused. Now... They haven't locked on to him, so he's facing this way, so I'm going to jump him out of the system before they can own his butt, because that cruiser packs a wall. Yeah. Those cruisers are deadly. But you can actually get, it's funny, I once played this game, and I got 2 alien cruisers, which kick the crud out of anything that fights them. So it's kind of fun to have those. Where's my Space Marine? So let's go ships. So... Why is he going so slow? Oh, he's... Okay, he was just in that system for some reason. Oh, he went there and then there. So your ships will take the shortest route between 2 points. So I like to take another look at max population. So we own that one. So Nadrax 2, Phoebe 4, and Ariel's. So this one I know is... Yeah, Ariel's is there. So we could take Phoebe and take Nadrax 2. Oh, that one actually has people in it, so we'll take Phoebe. We can take Phoebe 4. Now, I don't like to take another planet until... And so my my second planet is actually fully colonized. Just because if I have ships going back and forth between two different planets, it causes problems, and then actually I start losing money. So I am a slow expander, but in the background of that, I'm doing a lot of different stuff. Like I'm grabbing all these artifacts and ships and whatnot. So what was the planet? It was this one. So jump him in. Let's see what we've got. And he's going to jump in, and then as soon as we get in, and pause. So, yeah, there actually is a range from where you're... So, we just got money from that one again. A lot of times, it happens that you don't get any ships, like special ships. So, it's kind of depressing, but... it's kind of the luck of the draw for those kinds of things. Ooh, he's gonna get... Nope, he's good. Oh, no, he's toast. No, oh, he's good. Now, the thing is... ooh? So, humans are both ugly and weak. Conquering you will be easy when we get around to it. So, the Vulcan Imperium is kind of the... Like I said before, it's kind of the attack dog of the galaxy. But they're kind of lazy. So if we go over here, they have 2 planets, and this line between them, that's their star lanes. Or basically, what is the star lane? It's their projectors. So that ship took damage. All ships actually regen health. So if a ship is being beat the crud out of, you can actually just jump it out and it'll be okay, because it'll start regenning health. There's actually in the... So there's also repair drones, which it'll repair faster. It'll basically give them a boost to repair, because it takes a while. It takes... I think it's... Depending on the module... Actually, I don't really know. I'm not even going to bull crap that. Yeah, sorry for my language if people are... whatever. So Nidrax, he's still in the system. Why are you still in the system? Get out. Get. Oh, because they destroyed his warp engine. So he got like 1 jump off, and then. So once you get out of the system, the ships will actually back off, and they won't jump after you. And the sound you hear in the background, it's fun because a lot of the ships have different jumping noises. So some of the bigger ships, when they jump, they'll make more noise. So I believe... Oh, so Industrial Foundation. So all my planets, if we go to Empire... Oh, this gets paused. So if we click on Earth, and we view this, it'll automatically start building a Riverbane warehouse. A lot of these things will actually just boost its production. So, like, if you have this much production here, it'll actually take out, like, 50% more. So, it'll produce the production to use on the thing. And then it will it'll take from storage if you have the boost. So, what we're going to do is we're going to create... 4 more fighters. There's also a cool little management thing. So instead of doing groups, or well, I guess groups are still groups, but you can actually make fleets. But so instead of putting all the ships in one group and then leaving them to their vices or devices, I think the word is. But instead of letting them just do that, you can actually go to, I believe it's GA. You can click the buttons or you can click the hotkeys, and you can actually set up a fleet. And you can actually just place them down. So I can make a delta formation or just a pyramidal formation like I normally do with ships like this. My first fleet is usually made up of a Corvette or 2, and then, for these purposes, it's just gonna be fighters. But then you can requisition, so you can actually. These are a little bit weird. I don't know why. I think it might be my resolution, but you can, if you have ships in your empire that aren't assigned to a fleet, you can actually assign them. So I can click assign now, and any ship in my empire, which there are 3 because those actually built really quick on Earth, will be assigned to this fleet. And then if so, I have these other 2, so I can go to oops, I forgot that. I can go back to requisition. It says there are no ships in the empire, and then I can click build now. Now the problem with that is if you are already building ships for that fleet, and you click on requisition, and then you, I don't know, for some reason, fleets decide to take off and fly away for some strange reason when they first get built. So if you have a fleet that's brand new, and you click requisition, they start flying in different directions. A lot of times that can get them killed. So yeah, that's kind of weird. There's not a lot of artifacts in this game, unless they're all like over here, and which means I'm basically not gonna get any. What else? I think that's it for the basics. So I think I'm gonna call that one an episode. I will probably play for I'll probably do a couple episodes of this, and then see what the responses I get, and then I'll probably just continue because it'll give me a reason to play this game. So that's episode 1. Hey, hope you guys come back.